The sixth type is the language, which I call it formulaic, right? It's a language of formulae, right? So these names are formulae, right? And just like if we want to agree how we're going to name nickel, the best thing is to have Ni, and that's used all over the world, right? Because in Chinese, they probably actually say something different to what they say in Swahili, or they may not even have a word for it in Swahili, what they say in French, or what you say in German, or what you say, right? Because why shouldn't they use different words that fit their language? But if they're going to communicate with each other, we've got to agree on something. So we agree on Ni, right? Okay. So the taxonomy that I've created means that every entity has a formula, right? And that formula, like in the periodic table, has a meaning. You can unpack it. You know, I'll give you an example of a formula. The SPH double prime 6G5 superscript 2 subscript 3. Now that...
Crystal clear.
Exactly. Now the name I'm suggesting for this, and that entity, I can give you a list of its properties, a list of its relations, a list, right, okay? I'm suggesting...
Just what you said it was.
Crystal clear.
Thank you.
Well, the name that I'm suggesting that works there is a legal right. Now, obviously, when you and I talk, we're going to use the word legal right if we can agree on that, okay? Okay? But we might decide in a particular situation we want to agree a regulatory right or a legitimate right. It wouldn't really matter as long as we know it refers back to that entity which has that formula, okay? And the benefits of formula is... let me just type this up so you can just sort of see, and it's a sort of it's such a mad thing that let me just find. Okay, so I'll do some simple ones, otherwise it's too hard work here. Okay, 6. Okay, so I call that a right. Okay, that's the formula. Now here's another one, right? Exactly the same. And I found that in certain situations I wanted to use the name membership right. Right? I can't remember now why, but it somehow seemed very important at the time. But when I looked at the properties, they're exactly the same properties as a right. It wasn't actually anything different. Now what about this? SPH 6 2 that's 2 superscript 3. I'm not sure if I've got it's a bit complicated, isn't it, doing the superscripts and the subscripts. Is this raised and lowered? Okay, so this thing, see, it's 5 2 3 2. It's 3 2, not 2 3. Oh no, 2 3. Yeah, this was the legal right.
Human right.
No, legal right. Oh, right, human right. You want me to put up human right? The formula for human right is SPH.
I believe
This is 4 1. Human right. Okay? Now, what you see, however, is there are certain interesting similarities in the formula, isn't it? They've all got 6 in them, and they've all got this double prime. This has G5 and G2 and 2, 3 and 4, 1. So there's a difference there, okay? There's another one here which is closer, which is 3, 2. Right? It's this one, but 3 2 instead of 2 3, 3 2, and that's a moral right. Okay, so the point is that the formulae, right, start, because of the way they're constructed, start telling you about the entity. Because all the things in G5, right? That's just, I'm not sure we want to go on this too much. It gets too technical. I apologize.
But isn't technology fun?
Yeah. Well, I call it the technology of common sense. That's right. Moral right. You see, so this one's 2, 3, the other one's 3, 2. Right? Now, it's no different to chemistry, the periodic table. Once you actually understand the periodic table and how the rows function, how the columns function, and how isotopes work and so on, you've got an empty cell. Well, you can say it's going to have some of these properties. So I've got formulae, lots of them, which I've got no name to. I don't actually know what they are. I don't know what the entities are. But the formulae will give clues for anybody who wants to put their energy in that direction.